It is the worst of the Riot podcast for Friday, September 29th. What a wonderful Friday, Nikki.
I feel like this podcast should be the brightness at the end of the week to usher in the weekend. And since Hudson's not in it, it's just going to be refreshing, just really nice.
Yeah, it seems like a change of pace at the end of the week to get you on here. Hudson's on vacation right now, so he's hanging out, I think, beachside right now, which makes me very jealous.
Did he go see his brother, if I remember?
I don't know. I have no idea. He didn't really tell me much about the vacation.
Okay, hang on, Isaiah. Did he tell you or did you not listen?
I asked. I said...
You asked?
We talked a couple days ago. I said, what are you going to do? Because I was trying to give him things to do, and he was like, well, I think we're going to go to the beach. And he asked me, he's like, should I rent a car? And I told him no. I was like,
why?
He said that he's going to be like, his hotel is like on the beach. And I was like, well, if you're after, then you don't need a car. You can just Uber.
You still have to get around, and I knew he was going to see his family because I think his brother's from there. I think that's why they were going.
Yeah.
But
I had heard some whispers of that. You know, the question that I asked him, and this is a great question for you too. So I asked Hudson, I said, what's the most likely thing that you and your wife are going to get in a fight about?
Probably needing a car. And you made that possible.
He's going to say, well, Isaiah said, what he told me is he said that he's apparently an early riser, which I find hard to believe on the weekends. But he said his wife likes to sleep in, and so possibly there might be some butting of heads there if he feels like she's wasting the day away. I said, if you say that, then there is going to be butting of heads.
Why don't we use the word friction? It causes some friction. But I also think a lot of arguments are like, where are we going to eat? Because you're not familiar with any of the areas. So you're just fighting about someone picks something and you don't know anything for sure. And so that usually leads to arguments too.
No, I agree with that because usually when I'm on vacation, like we don't know where we're going and it's never like perfect when you get there either. There's always like a longer wait than you expect. And everyone's always, for whatever reason, starving because you've been like out at the beach all day or whatever you've been doing. It's like exhausted you, and so by the time that you finally get to like food, everyone just like wants food and they're like rabid.
You feel like a baby because you need a nap and you need to eat.
Yes. I'm like, I don't care where we eat. I just want something to eat.
Give me something.
I'm like, let's do McDonald's.
Do that. Well, yes, Hudson is gone for today's podcast, and then he'll be off on Monday as well, and then he'll return. So we wish him the best. But next time he goes out, just get it out of him. Have him share.
I know. He tried to make it low key. He's like, it's just like a little weekend trip. Nothing too big. I'm like, oh, I'm sure. And then
that means
he'll come back.
He doesn't want to tell you.
He's going to come back and talk about it for all of next week. He's going to be like, it's unbelievable the stories of me at the beach, spending every day there.
Again, we're happy that he's able to. So in the podcast today, since there's no Hudson, we do talk National Coffee Day deals.
We do.
So if there's something people want to go, there's a lot of deals that happen through this Sunday, so you can still get one. We
also talked about some of the best states for millennials to live in. And the top one we kind of dissed on, and then everyone texted in and were like sending us photos of themselves there.
Pretty.
They're like, look how beautiful it is. And they were like, I would totally move there. My family's from there. And I was like, well, we didn't know. All right. We haven't been there.
We said it was pretty. Yeah. We're not going to say even the first and second one, they're beautiful, but there's a difference between going to a pretty place and then like actually living there. And I still don't know about the living there part.
I agree. Like, I think the photos, I could go there and get some beautiful photos and do some really cool things. If I lived there, I mean, how many cool photos are going to make me live there, If I'm there for a long enough time. That's what I was thinking as well. We also talk about student loan payments starting on Sunday. So for some of you, they start October 1st, and they're kind of like splintered throughout the month. Some of my friends start off like in the middle of the month. And so that's more of just a warning that you better get your finances in line. Because in a couple of days, it's going to start getting a little bit more expensive.
Maybe today and tomorrow you have your last meals out.
Yeah,
before
you like
your
last
cutting
hurrah
back again. Yeah, and then Sunday you'll just settle into the new normal.
It's like a wild new monthly bill. Yeah, it's a wild new monthly bill that everyone has to pay. That they were like, this is kind of ridiculous. I had my whole thing like on an Excel sheet. I'm like, okay, I've got my rent, my electric, my food for the week, the grocery store. And then you're adding in like this brand new charge that's just going to toss in a couple $100 you had to pay every month. Not exciting for anyone.
Oh, it's not good. We're sorry if you do have to go back into payments with it. That is not fun.
And there's a bunch of other stuff in the podcast, but we'll let it speak for itself. And we'll see you guys on Monday.
Okay, bye.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
How are you, Isaiah?
I'm doing grand. Hudson's on vacation, so he's doing better than both of us.
So how come I've only been filling in for Hudson when he's on vacation, but you need to get in there and get some days off as well, because I haven't filled in for you.
I know. I've been saving up days, I guess, for what it feels like the entire year. I've had multiple times where I was planning on doing a vacation, and then you just don't feel like it. Didn't end up going. But now I've been talking to my family about possibly doing something soon. So maybe in the next month or so, I'll take some days off. I'll tell you this much. In December, no one's going to hear from me. You won't even know I'm on the show anymore.
Now,
I'm taking off every day.
As the person, people might not realize this, but I've been charged the days off. Technically, you can't hoard all your days until the end of the year.
I took some days off. I took a couple days.
But I think you're good. I think Hudson's taking advantage of this, me filling in, and instead he needs to do the next set. So I know Hudson's off today, and he's off on Monday, so I'll still be in with you then. But at that point, you need to pick a day off.
Yeah, I'm going to be taking one soon. I know for a fact that I'm going to be taking the day off here in about a month or so. And I'm really good about waiting to the last second to let you guys know. So then you'll be able to fill in and it'll be really spontaneous. It'll be a fresh show.
Again, I miss that about you so much. Just your ability to give me such great notice.
Find more Riot content online. riot.radiou.com.
We're talking about a new survey that found the average American feels they take about 6 photos a day. Would you say off first initial reaction, is that low or high?
Don't you feel like that feels certain days like low, especially if you're a pet owner?
Yes, I was going to say it felt kind of low to me. I'm sure there's a lot of days where I take 0 photos, but then there's a lot of days where I'm like, Jim looks kind of cute in this weird angle. His tongue has been out for a while. Can I catch it still out by the time I get my camera out? Because I think about on my camera roll, I've got about 5,000 photos.
Yes. Oh, wow. You have so many. You need to, okay, if you still take a lot of pictures each day, you got to go back and have some digital clean out. You should be going back and deleting the ones that you don't want to keep.
Yeah, and I know a lot of the stuff in there is screenshots of receipts and a lot of stuff I don't need, but I am not a deleter. I'd never clean out my phone. My storage has been full for a ridiculous amount of time. And so now I'm to the point where I have 5,000 photos and 800 videos. And now it's not letting me do certain things on my phone because I've gotten
too full.
Yes, because I've gotten to a point where it's too full.
Now, listen, Isaiah. Okay, I can do a class on this for you. I'm the type of person that deletes the deleted folder because you have to go in and do that. Yes, you do. You have to. Otherwise, your storage is still hogged up by it, and you cannot do as many videos. That's what's really slowing your phone down. Yeah,
that makes sense. It says the pics. It's broken down. We've got 70% family. 66% friends, 58% selfies. That's a high number of selfies. Pet pics, 52%, and then scenery, 43%.
Ooh, like a sunset, that sort of thing.
In my mind, there's no way they can be factoring in young people, because I think about my younger brother uses Snapchat. And he will take so many photos a day to send to his friends. That's their only mode of communication. They don't text. It's only pictures. So it has to be just the actual camera app on your phone. It can't be social media because there's no way. The number would definitely be higher.
Well, okay, let's go in. Why don't you open up your phone and go to your album and tell me how many you have in the recents, because mine's higher than I thought it would be. So maybe we should all be shamed with this.
My recents is 5,731.
Okay, mine is 5,438.
Yeah, you're talking to me about cleaning things out.
I'm just as bad, but I mean, you still win. You have more. You guys need to text in at 877 to RadioU. Go to your photo albums, go to your recents, and text in what is your number of pictures there so we can see where everybody lands.
I know there's somebody that has like 10,000 photos. I'm supposed to say girls. Girls have so many pictures. I know someone's going to text in and be able to top. My number's 5,731.
No, you need to ask your moms, because my mom is the worst. She does the live videos that do like the 2-second clips of live. And so she's always like, why can't I use my phone? I'm like, that's because every photo is huge.
Yes. Your photos are humongous because they're 2-second videos.
Yes. Like, please text it in and tell us, is anybody over 5,700? And then we'll see.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
We're talking homemade meals, romantic gestures.
So like love with food. Is that how we show love?
It's the best way to show it.
That's probably the way we hate it the most, but love it.
It says here, most romantic foods to share with a partner. If you're out on the town going on a date, the top 4. Cookies at number 1. Wild number 1.
That's
ice
so
cream
weird.
number 2.
No.
Pizza number 3. Cake number 4. Cookies sitting at 1 feels like a wild choice.
Feels like you took her to the lobby of a hotel and got the free cookies and then you left.
Like, has anybody ever handed you a cookie and you really felt special? That's never happened.
I mean, maybe they mean more like crumbles or like the big box sort of cookies.
Maybe like a Pizookie. We're talking like Pizookie?
Yeah. Like
BJ's?
It's a super expensive one. So maybe they're talking more like that.
I'm thinking like a Subway cookie. That's what pops into mind for me. Like, we got Subway, and I'm like, you know what? Let's do a cookie. Whatever you want.
Wait. Eric used to always get the white chocolate ones.
Hey, they're fire.
Like
yes. They're good. They didn't make me feel special.
Why are we getting cookies at Subway?
Yeah, like that's your romantic gesture. You know what, babe? Whatever you want. Go ahead.
Whatever. It's all on you, right?
Peanut butter, chocolate chip. It's on me. Whatever one you want.
This study does say, though, that a lot of people express that you like someone by like making a homemade meal. So maybe if the cookie is not your approach to this, if you made something for your date, maybe that goes better.
The top one coming in for a homemade meal, pizza, which is simple but nice.
Mm-hmm. I think that's classic. That works.
There's not a lot of foods that I can make. If I think back, I am not much of a cook. I can't make anything. I would struggle. They would have to guide me through it. But I think that would make me come across as maybe cute.
Well, your mom didn't make you make, like, usually moms are like, here, you have to know 1 or 2 things. That's it.
I can make a lot of things in the air fryer, but that doesn't seem special or romantic.
That's good, though. Come on, a little chicken wing. That'd be great.
Yeah, some chicken tenders. You know anything about the chicken tenders?
That means you're not even doing the wings.
I make a mean Texas toast. But yeah, for me, I would need lead.
Why don't you just stick with the cookie then?
Yeah. I'll buy them from Subway before and be like, look what I baked up for us.
And then you heat it up in the air fryer. Oh.
Precisely. It's a warm chocolate chip. It's a warm peanut butter. I've got vanilla ice cream on the side too. Yeah, for me, they would have to lead the way if we were going to make anything. I'm a big fan of Italian foods. They did like a lasagna, a chicken Alfredo. Yet again, I am zero help, but I would be cute next to them. Like, what do you need me to do?
If she's asking, please don't say lasagna, because that's a very intimidating one. So
it is.
I don't know. That might be a bit much.
Yeah, it would be. That's my favorite food. That's a big ask. It's multiple layers. I'm going to judge it harshly because my mom makes a fire lasagna. So if it's not up to par, I'm going to be like, this is what I have to look forward to the rest of my life. My favorite birthday meal is ruined.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
It is time for our weekend watch list. What is coming out this weekend that you need to see? And this really is one of those times where I do miss Hudson because he gets so into the weekend watch list. He'll try to convince.
He loves movies so much more, so
he'll try to convince everyone that there is a movie for them every weekend. I won't do that to you. I'll tell you if there isn't any. I'll tell you.
Can I appreciate that, because there's no good movies now. Like now you're getting especially into, if it is, it's going to be like a scary movie.
Yes.
Or just not a holiday movie. So they throw it out now. There's really not a lot of good stuff coming out.
So the top movie listed here, like you said, is Saw X, which for me, as you know, this is a scary movie. I don't even know if there's no way I would ever watch this. 0%. But somebody's going to go, I feel like the scary movies maybe have a higher tendency for someone to want to go to it because that might be their thing.
Yeah. And plus, like, if you see the other Saw movies, then you feel like you have to have this one. But I mean, that's probably the thing that I have seen the most ads for. And they've just been so gross looking that
yes.
I think it's a pass for us unless Hudson wants to choose this one as the one to prop up.
Yeah, exactly. And now the next one I've got here, this is a movie that my younger brother actually went and saw on Thursday night.
Was it Paw Patrol?
No. Not that much younger. My younger brother that's like 2 years younger than me.
Well, it's for all ages.
Paw Patrol is also out. If you want to take your dog to that one, I'm sure drive-ins are going to be going crazy with Paw Patrol, the mighty movie, as well as all of your nieces and nephews. They will be begging you to drag them to Paw Patrol. For me,
you send them there while you go see Saul.
Yeah. Yeah, Paw Patrol, the mighty movie. This is a big movie for my parents' toy store. I'm sure they're going to have lots of people coming in looking for Paw Patrol plush toys probably after this.
Sure.
The one that my brother saw was The Creator.
Oh, how was that? I've seen a couple. Isn't that with like the kid?
Yes.
But not like the Paw Patrol thing, but like the weird world stuff?
Yeah, like a future war between the human race and AI rages on. X Special Forces. It's all sci-fi now. This, for me, I'm a sci-fi guy. I like sci-fi.
Did he like it?
I'm not sure. I haven't talked to him about it yet.
Now, you're not a good brother then. Come on.
What do you mean? I knew he saw it.
So you're supposed to check in after and be like, hey, how was it?
We didn't talk about it. My mom actually told me. She said Jaden went and saw a movie last night.
Oh,
and I was
see.
like, oh, nice.
The Creator, though, that looks, it's 2 hours and 13 minutes. I don't know. It seems long.
Yes.
Even though I know it's not too bad.
Yeah, I'm okay with that one. I would be okay with. I'm not going to go see it. I'll talk to my brother. Maybe he'll tell me. Maybe he'll be able to convince me since he went and saw it. He's a big movie guy. He likes going to the theater and watching things. Me, not so much. I have to be really in on something. I don't see a way where I would go see this in theaters, but when it releases on whatever it releases on to where I can watch it in my own home,
yeah,
that could be something I could see myself watching, mainly because it is the genre that I do like.
Well, is there any other like streaming, or are we just really going to go out and say that there's not much this weekend?
It looks like a movie called Nowhere is releasing on Netflix.
Okay.
It looks bloody.
Well, when there's nowhere to go.
Yeah, exactly.
You're just going to bleed out, I guess.
It says, fleeing a totalitarian country, pregnant Mia must fight for her life when a violent storm knocks the container.
Shipping container thing. Oh my goodness. Why can't we have something lighthearted? What is this?
Yeah, the container knocks over. She's been hiding. Trapped Mia gives birth and is forced to survive to save her baby. Sounds a little intense for me.
It does. Maybe Saw is the only choice.
Maybe Saw is the most lighthearted thing of the weekend.
It could be. Everything else is like into the world, and there's something going on.
Or you're watching Paw Patrol. Those are your options.
It also doesn't seem so bad now, does it?
Yeah, it doesn't. Well, that's your weekend watch list. Watch something this weekend. Let us know. Text it at 877 RadioU.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, Radio U.
I'm looking at a survey in front of me of the best and worst states for millennials of 2023.
So millennial 81 to 96 is the millennial, and the states we know. So I guess you're going to have to tell us, do you want to go worst or best?
Let's start at the bottom.
The bottom, okay.
That way we can just mark out. So that way when people they're going to be upset about the worst one, so we'll get that out of the way, then we'll go positive after. What I'm seeing here is if you live in the southern east, southeast, it's bad for you if you're a millennial. Alabama, 50.
You're talking Alabama, 50, Louisiana, 49, Mississippi, 48. Georgia, though, that's 37. So Florida's 34, Texas, 41. So those are some of the bottom ones.
And then if you're looking for green, it looks to me as if you go north of the middle of the United States, coming in number 1, Minnesota.
That's a tough sell for me, don't you think? Would you ever move to Minnesota?
I wouldn't, but I will say this. I like a good Minnesota accent on a woman.
You do? You do?
I do. I don't know what it is. I do.
Is that a thing?
When I went to college, for whatever reason, where I went to school, we had a lot of girls who were from Minnesota.
Yeah.
Because I played lacrosse, and Minnesota was big. Northern and Minnesota, there's a lot of women's lacrosse players, and they all had Minnesota accents. Highly underrated. Highly underrated.
And what do you, because you've been out of school for a couple years, what do you remember that accent being?
It's like the only way that I could portray it. If Hudson were here, he's good with the accents.
Is it the don't you know sort of one?
It's like the Minnesota. The
don't
long,
you know? Yeah.
Don't you know? Yeah. Real cute.
Well, okay. Well, Minnesota has that. Maybe second would be better. Second best state, they say, for millennials would be Utah.
That can't be number 2.
Well, okay. Let me scroll down and tell you why. Okay. So they say it scores high in safety. Safety seems to be the main thing, but Utah scares me. I'll just say it. Sometimes it's just sometimes scary.
That can't be the number. I mean, I like being safe. I like it. But that can't be the number one reason why I want to live somewhere. I'm okay with a little bit of risk.
It could be population-wise, they say. It also scores high quality of life, which goes hand in hand with safety, honestly. Employment's very good in Minnesota and Utah. Political and social environments, affordability is something, health-wise. So that's kind of what they're judging these best states on where people move to.
I don't see a fun category. They're fun.
I don't know if, again, maybe I'm wrong. Minnesota, people say, is like really pretty, super pretty, but that doesn't say fun, does it?
It doesn't say fun.
Trip you took with your parents, and they were like, let's go to Minnesota, and that's what you got.
Like Colorado's I know Colorado, same thing, the skiing stuff.
Yeah,
it sounds
fun.
like fun.
That whole state's fun.
Sounds like fun. Utah, I've never been to Utah. Is it fun there?
I flew once through it, and the airport was scary enough. So
okay, yeah, no need to stop then.
Add a little Riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
How are the pups doing?
They're good. Yesterday was not a good day for Rollo, though. So I don't know if anybody else has had this issue. Isaiah, sometimes dogs eat things that are a no-no, right?
Familiar with that, yes.
Okay. Now, it's not the normal no-no that sometimes dog owners have to deal with. I think my dog yesterday, because my dog is a soft-coated Wheaten Terrier, and terriers are just notorious for rooting things out and eating them. And that's his job. That's what he was created to do.
What a job. He is a useful dog.
Yeah. Back in the day of the old times, it'd be like, he gets rats, that's what terriers were trying to do. So I think yesterday, Rollo, he does the thing where, and again, I don't know if owners have experienced this, he'll want to start eating plants. Has Jim ever done that?
He's more of a mulch eater, but I have seen him eat plants, yes.
Well, they'll go for plants when their stomach's upset, and then that makes them throw up. So he goes and hurls outside like crazy. I think he ate a gecko.
A gecko?
He's been going after geckos because they're just outside constantly. I think he ate one, and I don't know what to do about that. I can't train him to not eat a gecko.
That's impressive, though. It's a hard catch. A gecko is a quick animal. A quick reptile.
But he just walks back and forth in our backyard, and you can tell he's just like he's working. He's a worker dog. He wants one. But I think based on how he threw up yesterday, and I had to give him a little doggy antacid because he had such a sick stomach. And I'm like, what are you doing to me? I think that's what set him off. I think he got one of the geckos, and it made him sick.
Well, it says online they are not poisonous for dogs and cats to eat, so at least Rollo will not die.
Good.
But I would say gecko, not one of the top things I would want my dog to eat. Like Jim has never encountered a gecko. I think he would be afraid of it because he's afraid of things that move quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he stored her to the ground. Yeah. So. I feel like Rollo eating a gecko, I can't even imagine. That's so. Ugh.
It's what he's supposed to do as a terrier, but like again, when you're supposed to train your dog, I can't boop him on the nose.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Spank him? You know,
I don't spank. You do that.
That would be what I would do.
I don't know how to teach him that geckos equals you throwing up the next day. Like, I don't know what to do. So that's just my new worry. I didn't know I'd have to ever wonder about that.
Yeah, your dog eating a gecko. I train Jim because he has no reason to be in my house. Like, he doesn't have a job. But if there's a bug in the house, I like hype him up. I'm like, Jim, get him. And he'll like look at me and he'll do this like jump paw thing. He's terrible at killing them. He'll do this jump paw thing, and then he'll like finally kill it, and then he'll just look at me, and I'll be like, yes, my dog is a killer.
But does Jim ever like kiss you on the face?
He does, yes.
Okay, and are you okay with, because to me, my biggest thing is, man, Rolo, don't come near me because you just ate this lizard thing.
Yes.
And so if you're letting your dog eat bugs and then he comes over, like, that's gross.
Yeah, I usually try. He knows that I don't like it, but sometimes I would let him lick my face if I am feeling generous that day.
You got to brush his teeth beforehand.
But usually it's like an automatic, like, Jim, what are you doing? Like, we never do this.
Yeah.
Signs of affection, me and you? No.
No. All right. Well, I'll keep everybody updated if this becomes an issue, but I'm going to need to look up training on, I can't just yell at him from outside, like, don't eat the gecko. That feels weird.
At least he's not like bringing dead geckos to you. He's swallowing them.
In his tummy. No, it's in his stomach. It's still coming to me. And then he throws it up and I got to clean that up. I don't like it. This is a problem.
That is the worst part.
That's enough of that. For more Riot content, head to riot.radiou.com.